Before the headlines. Before the rumors. Before millions of fans began debating every photo, every lyric, and every silence, there was simply Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill. Two artists. Two powerful voices in hip-hop. Two people moving through a world filled with flashing cameras, sold-out arenas, late-night studio sessions, and non-stop pressure. And somewhere in the middle of all of that noise, they found each other. For fans, the connection between Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill felt impossible to ignore. It wasn't only because both were major stars. It was something deeper than that. Something visible even in the quietest moments. A glance during an interview. A smile backstage. A laugh caught between performances. The kind of moments cameras can capture, but can never fully explain. Nicki Minaj had already become a global force. Her presence was unforgettable. Her creativity felt limitless. Her confidence inspired millions. Every verse felt intentional. Every appearance felt iconic. Every move became part of culture. Meek Mill was building his legacy with hunger and drive. His story felt raw. His voice carried emotion. His music sounded like ambition turned into rhythm. He represented resilience, movement, passion, and the determination to keep going no matter what stood in the way. When Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill came together, it felt electric. Fans saw glamour, luxury, travel, designer looks, award shows, private moments shared publicly through photos and appearances. But behind all of that was something much more human. Two artists trying to make room for connection inside lives that never slowed down. Imagine what that looked like. Flights before sunrise. Studios after midnight. Phones buzzing constantly. Schedules changing by the hour. Crowds everywhere. And still, finding time for each other. Finding time to laugh. To talk. To be more than performers. More than headlines. Just Nicki Minaj. And Meek Mill. And for a while, that felt enough. But love inside the spotlight is rarely simple. Especially when that spotlight never turns off. For Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill, their relationship unfolded in front of millions. Every appearance became news. Every vacation photo became discussion. Every performance became a headline. And when the world watches that closely, even ordinary moments stop feeling ordinary. The pressure becomes part of the relationship. Fans celebrate you. Critics analyze you. Media interprets everything. Silence becomes a story. Smiles become a story. Distance becomes a story. Everything becomes something people talk about. Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill weren't just navigating love. They were navigating fame while in love. And those are very different things. There's the version the world sees. Then there's the version that exists privately. The version between texts, phone calls, airport arrivals, backstage hugs, quiet dinners, long conversations after exhausting days. And trying to protect that private version can be one of the hardest things in the world. Because fame doesn't pause. Music doesn't pause. Expectations don't pause. Nicki Minaj kept evolving creatively. Breaking records. Creating moments that dominated culture. Meek Mill kept building. Recording. Performing. Pushing forward. And both were doing it while trying to maintain something deeply personal between them. That balancing act, career and connection, public image and private feeling, is delicate. Sometimes beautiful. Sometimes exhausting. And sometimes both at once. Fans could feel the chemistry, the style, the loyalty, the energy. But nobody outside their world truly knew what the quiet moments felt like. And maybe that mystery is part of why people remain fascinated by Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill. Because every relationship has a story beyond what people can see. Especially one lived under stage lights. Every love story leaves something behind. A memory. A feeling. A soundtrack. A moment frozen in time. And that's what makes the story of Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill so unforgettable. Even years later, people still remember. Not just because they were famous. Not just because of the headlines. But because their story felt emotional. Visible. Alive. Fans watched it unfold in real time. And when something happens in real time, when millions witness it together, it becomes part of culture. Part of memory. Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill represented something bigger than celebrity romance. They represented timing, passion, growth, ambition, connection, and the challenge of trying to hold on to something meaningful while the entire world watches. Their story carried glamour, but also humanity. And that humanity is what remains. People remember the appearances, the music era, the photos, the fashion, the chemistry, the energy. But maybe what people remember most is possibility. The feeling that for a chapter in time, Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill looked like two people choosing each other while moving at the speed of fame. And that image stays with people. Because behind every legendary public relationship, there are ordinary human moments. Moments nobody sees. Moments too quiet for headlines. Moments without cameras. Moments where it's just two people speaking honestly in a room. And those unseen moments are often the ones that shape everything. That's why the story of Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill still feels compelling. Because it reminds us that even the biggest stars live through the same emotions everyone understands. Connection, hope, change, memory, and moving forward while carrying pieces of the past with you. Before the breakup, before the speculation, before everyone had an opinion, there was a chapter fans still remember. Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill. A story written in music, in moments, in fame, and in memory.